Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy VII walkthrough. The last video we just finished up all of the storyline stuff in Calm, which, oh my god, Snorefest. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't like the story in the game, but now at this point in the game, and I actually think I described it in the last video, but after like leaving Midgar, all I want to do is run around the fields and kill all the monsters and get all the loots. So to have to sit through like a half an hour's worth of storyline at that point in the game is I was not wild about that. So anyways, it's all behind us now. We can move forward. Everything's gonna be cool from here on out. But yeah, anyways, alright, I would say if you haven't already obtained Matra Magic as well as the Atomic Scissors from the custom sweeper, and they're usually found around the, I don't know, I call it like the dirt areas, if that makes sense, or wherever there's like a lack of grass. I would say the areas directly like right around Midgar, the city itself, is a really good place to run those. So if you haven't done that yet, I would say, you know, it's probably a good idea. I actually like Matra Magic. It's a pretty good spell, as well as those Atomic Scissors are good, or that weapon is good for Barret. And yeah, so that's about all I've got to say about that. Anyways, we're heading to the east, and we actually need to find I believe it's like the Chocobo Farm. I think that's at least what it's referred to as. And the reason being, we actually need to get a Chocobo. And then on top of that, there's actually a really good summon materia, and our first summon materia here at the farm. So that is what we will get. And I get a ton of use out of this. I don't know if it matters actually what you say here. I just went with the top option. And yeah, I don't know, they do this goofy little dance thing here, which is, I don't know, pretty adorable, I guess. Okay, are we done yet? No? Okay, still dancing. Alright, very good. There we go. Received Chocomog materia. So, again, like I said, this is our first summon materia in the entire game. I really like it. I get, like I said earlier, I get a ton of use out of it. And it's kind of interesting. It's wind elemental. And I think it'll randomly stop your enemies as well. I don't know how often that actually triggers, but that can be kind of nice as well. So obviously we want to cross the marshes in the southern area, and that's right outside I think it's the Mithril Mine. And as Chocobill here explains, there is a gigantic serpent that prowls the marshes, and it's extremely likely that you will not be able to defeat it at this point in the game. We are going to in a little bit, or just a little ways beyond this point. I'm actually going to put up a full guide on how to do it early in the game. And like I said, it'll be right after we do the Mithril Mine stuff. But we'll have to do a little bit of battling, a little farming, however you want to say it. But anyways, onto the task at hand here. For the time being, the safest way to cross the marshes here is actually to get a Chocobo. And in order to do that, you need to do a couple things. Namely, we need to get the Chocobo, or the Choco Lure, I think is the name of it. And that's just a materia that when you have it equipped, if you run around the little claw marks on the world map, you'll get into battles with chocobos randomly. And if you don't have that choco lure equipped, you'll never run into chocobos. So, you know, first things first, we need to get that. Now, I was a little bit short on cash here, so I'm going to end up running back out to the world map, and then we'll do a quick battle or two, and get to, I think it's, yeah, 2,000 gil. So here I tried to buy it. Hey, he's like, hey, thanks. Hey, you don't have enough. Okay, well, all right, let's go out and make some money. And this is coal? I think, yeah, coal. That looks right. And that character will be a little bit more useful later on in the game. But all right, anyway. So like I said, we're gonna jump into some combat here, and figured it'd be probably a good idea to save my game. So that's what I did there. And I took a little cut here. And I actually wanted to show you guys too another enemy skill that can be learned right here. Now this one can be a little bit annoying. And oh, okay, I guess it's not actually this battle. It'll probably be the next one. I actually like these ostrich-looking enemies here. So they use an ability called Flaming Peck, and I think that has the chance to put your characters into the Fury status. That was my guess anyway. It didn't look like it activated on Cloud, but I think it did on Tifa. Which, you know, Fury status actually has its benefits as well as its drawbacks. It increases the rate at which your limit gauge fills, but it makes your attacks less accurate. So it's up to you on whether or not you find that that's worthwhile or not. But all right, so it looks like I've got I've got the 2,000 gil needed to get the Chocolure. So let's grab that. Thanks. Wouldn't hurt to buy some greens. So that's another thing that can help you, and I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to buy a few greens here, and it can help a little bit with trying to capture these chocobos. So, and what I mean by that is that the chocobos will only stay in battle for so long, and then they'll run away. And if you throw them a green, they'll eat them in the middle of combat, and thus they will stick around a little bit longer and kind of make it so that you've got a little bit more time to finish off the enemies, and that's the real goal. Chocobos are always accompanied by a few enemies, and you need to get rid of the enemies first before you'll actually be able to capture it. So if you're able to kill off all of the enemies before you get into, if you're able to kill off all the enemies, you will successfully capture the chocobo, and the battle will end, and you'll be on to back on the world map riding the chocobo. You just have to be careful that you don't jump off right away, because if you hit the cancel button, you'll jump off the chocobo will run away, and you'll have to try to capture a new one, so just be careful. But anyways, alright, so here I wanted to show you this next enemy skill here, and I actually got extremely lucky here. So the enemy skill we're looking for here is level 4 Suicide. Now, it's actually going to do decent damage to your characters and I believe it causes some status effects if your level is a multiple of 4. So be careful, you know, if any of your characters are like level 12 or 14 or 20, so on and so forth. But there it is, boom, level 4 Suicide. Apparently they've got a really low chance of actually casting that, so it can take you a little bit of time to learn it. But once you do, you'll be good to go. Keep in mind though, as with all of the enemy skills in the game, you absolutely have to have your enemy skill materia equipped, otherwise you will not learn it. So again, keep that in mind. You absolutely must have it equipped. Alright, anyways, let's move on. potion. Alright, so let's put that chocobo lure back on. Or on, I guess even this might have actually been the first time I equipped it. It sure looks like it anyway. And we'll try to capture our ride across the swamp. Now, here I took a little cut. I actually failed on one of my attempts to capture a chocobo. I took a little bit too long. And one of the things that you can do that'll really help you out. What am I doing? I don't know why I'm running so close to the barn or whatever you want to call it. One of the things that you can do though to help your success rates here. Number one, put your greens, if you're going to use any greens, up at the top of your item list, and that'll just make it so that you can get to them faster. Now I think this game might have the wait command as far as the battle speed. Let me check here. Let me check my configuration menu. ATB. Okay, well it says recommended at first. I would say you probably want to turn that on to wait. So ATB is active, recommended, and wait. And wait should make it so that when you're in a menu, the battle flow basically stops. So anyways, long story short, if you don't want to, you can put your greens, or number one, you could put your greens at the top of your item list, and that'll make it so that you can actually get to them faster, which is what I did. Otherwise, I would say, if you're not going to change your ATB to wait, that's, you could then move them to the top. If you're going to change it to wait, it really doesn't matter because you've got all the time in the world once you're in your inventory screen. Anyways, so long story short, those greens will help the chocobos stick around a little bit longer. And then on top of that, if you notice there, I had Cloud at, he had his limit break all the way maxed out. And that's just useful so that you can basically one-shot one of the enemies. And then basically just cast magic on the other enemy until the chocobo is alone. And then on top of that, you never want to actually hit the chocobo because the chocobo will run away. And then there, if you noticed, I don't know, it looks like Sephiroth had killed one of these Midgar Zolms or whatever these things are called. And essentially impaled it on a tree, which is pretty badass. But that's Sephiroth for you. Alright, so we got what was that, an ether and a tent, something like that. And I believe we've got a materia up here, and I think this is the long range. Long range is actually really good. I really like the long range. I actually like to use that on someone like Aeris. And what I'll do is actually I'll put the cover as well as long range on Aeris and then put her in the back row. And what that's going to do is she'll actually be able to, with the long range material, she'll actually still be able to do the full damage even though she's in the back row. That's what the long range materia actually does. So basically it's just a way to keep your offense up and not get, then you don't have the issue with doing less physical damage. So again, I feel like that's pretty useful, or at least that's a really good combination. And then on top of that, by having the cover materia on her, she'll be taking hits for your other characters in the back row, and being that she's in the back row, she will take less damage for those attacks. So pretty useful combination there of those two pieces of materia. And then if you notice there, I don't know if I missed it already, but at some point here I learned flamethrower from this dragon enemy here. There it is. And I just happened to get lucky and he used it on... Oh, did he? He must have already used it earlier on Tifa. And she then thus learned it. So, I would say pretty useful enemy skill. Obviously it's a fire-based skill, so if you are, facing some sort of enemy that has a weakness to fire, that is the skill to use. So yeah, I think that's about it so far. We do have to steal from an enemy inside here. for one of Tifa's weapons. So pretty soon here, we will take care of that. Now, again, if you noticed, or if you were watching in the other videos, I actually did buy 2 additional steel materials. And the reason for that is it just gets really old trying to just steal with one character. And I actually like to steal quite a bit, so, you know, that's why I did that. I bought the 2 extra steals just so everyone could have a steel materia equipped, and thus the ability to steal. And here, is this it? Yeah, this will be it. So these enemies here, I forget the name. Mandrogue? I missed it. Let me just check here. Madog. Okay, Madog, something like that. Anyways, these guys are the ones that have, and it's called the Grand Glove, and that's basically another really good weapon for Tifa. And it'll kind of bring her up with everybody else as far as attack power and materia slot. So it'll be a 4 slot, you know, the first 2 will be connected. There it is. Alright, let's take this guy out. But yeah, so anyways, like I said, this Grand Glove will actually bring Tifa up to snuff with Cloud and Aeris, as well as actually Barret, to be honest. Barret's got a 4 slot with those atomic scissors. There we are, Grand Glove. It's actually extremely accurate too. Forgot about that. All right. And what I think I got a mind source as well, and I think I'll end up using that on Tifa. I've basically decided that's the one character that I'll probably be throwing all of my sources onto. To be honest, Cloud's a really good character for those as well. He'll be with you, you know, in your active party for most of the game, so he is also a really good choice for those. And actually, we'll see if I end up using Tifa a whole lot. I've recently been using Red a bit more because of his Tier 1 limit break Lunatic Eye, which is, I don't know, I really like it so far. It gives your characters the haste status as well as ups their defense percentage, which my impression was just reduces. Oh no, you know what? Don't quote me on that. I'm actually gonna look that up again because now I don't remember right off the top of my head what it does. Final Fantasy VII defense percentage. Google's our friend. Okay, so defense percentage is the evading abilities of your character against physical attacks. Okay. So, like misses, I guess. So that being said, Lunatic Eye should not only help out your... it puts the haste status on all your characters, but it'll also help you evade attacks. So, again, I really like that. That's a really cool ability. So I suspect I may spend a little bit of time with Red. Anyways, alright, so we've got the Turks once again, and it appears as though the Turks have recruited a new member. So this is Elena. And she will be the voice of the Turks, apparently. Because apparently Rude doesn't like to talk. Which is maybe a little ironic that his name is Rude, and I mean, he's probably not going to be offending very many people because he doesn't speak. Alright, anyways. So Seng barges in here and he's like, whoa, 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 Alina, no need to tell essentially our enemies what our orders are, which makes sense. Don't let Sephiroth get away. I do what I want. Okay. So apparently Reno's got a score to settle. Won't be seeing too much of you, so take care. Okay. Stay out of Shinra's way. Maybe? For some reason I doubt that we're going to be staying out of Shinra's way. Alright, what do we have here? An elixir, and I believe this is a high potion. Yeah. Pretty lame, a high potion, really. I don't know. Flamethrower, no. It hits so hard. Why? Alright. So, like I said, I'm going to be getting a ton of use out of Deathblow. I believe it's the most damaging attack. I think it hits a bit harder than Matra Magic. Matra Magic is good, but it didn't seem to be quite good enough. And there I'm missing. So, there's the other goofy thing about Fury, is that it'll actually make your magic attacks miss sometimes too. So you really have to decide whether or not you like that that status effect or not. You know, there's definitely some annoying times where I've been like, Jesus, is this even really worth it? Now, again though, the good thing is it increases the rate at which your limit breaks generate. But again, it's got its disadvantages, so keep that in mind. But all right, so we've finally emerged on the other side of the cave, and we're going to make our way over to what is this? I don't know, some forest. In an effort to obtain our next party member. So that will be Yuffie, and so the next video will be running around the forest looking for Yuffie. I don't know if that's how you say her name or not. That's how I'm gonna say it, Yuffie. So sorry if it's Yuffie or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of a goofy name, but I'm gonna say Yuffie because it sounds cool. It sounds cooler, I think. Probably doesn't. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, long story short, we're gonna get her. All right, we're recruiting her. We're looking for new members. To be honest, I don't know. She's not one of my favorite characters, and she actually, she's not the worst. I do have a most disliked character in the game, but we won't get into that quite yet. That will be a discussion for another day. Now, I do want to say one thing here. We've got some enemies here. Now, hopefully it's this next battle. I think it is. Yes. All right. So these guys. So these have a good steal as well. It's got the boomerang, and the boomerang is actually for Yuffie. So kind of appropriate that her a good weapon for her is located here. Oh, miss. Whoops. So yeah, so grab one of those. And actually, now that we're here, I'm actually going to do a guide on really just like leveling in this spot. I really like this area. And I'll go into all of that in the next, or within the next, 1 or 2 videos. I'll do a whole bunch of kind of random videos, not necessarily walkthrough related, but they'll be kind of like early game power up, and in obtaining Yuffie, as well as a couple other kind of cool stuff or cool things. So stay tuned for those. That'll probably be the next, I don't know, 2 or 3. Probably 2 videos, maybe 3. I don't know how many I'll stretch it out into, but stay tuned for those. But other than that, we're going to finish this battle off and save the game. So as always, I hope this guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.